Hello, and thank you for tuning in to our Secondary English and Language Arts PARCC Test Design and Scoring mini webinar series. This webinar focuses on interpreting PARCC scores. You may remember from a previous webinar that we discussed high-level assessment blueprints, which define the total number of raw points students can earn for any given grade or course assessment. Here, we are looking at the high-level assessment blueprints for the ELA Literacy PARCC test for grades 6 through 11. What this document tells us is that there are 3 units on this test: a literary analysis task, a research simulation task, and a narrative writing task. For the literary analysis task, you can see that students will initially read 2 passages, and they will be asked to respond to questions and prompts that elicit information about a student's current level achievement within literary texts, vocabulary, written expression, and language usage. Students will be asked to respond to EBSR, TECR, and PCR questions. EBSR questions are the evidence-based selected response questions, which are most similar to multiple choice questions. TECR questions are technology-enhanced constructed response questions, which students may be asked to highlight or drag and drop to show their understanding. PCR items are the prose constructed response or essay. This high-level assessment blueprint shows exactly how many points students will earn in each of the subclaim areas and on each type of question. For example, on the literary analysis task, when it comes to reading literary texts, students will have the opportunity to earn 8 points on the EBSR and TECR questions and another 4 points on their essay. We also know that vocabulary will only be assessed on the EBSR and TECR questions. Further, students' written expression and language usage will only be assessed through their essay. You'll notice that with each unit, there is also an additional text set in which students read another text and are asked only EBSR and TECR questions. This high-level assessment blueprint provides a bird's-eye view of the assessments, how many points can be earned on each unit, and for what subclaim those points can be earned. Next, let's take a look at the PARCC grades 6 through 11 ELA Literacy Scoring rubric for the research simulation task and the literary analysis task. There is a separate scoring rubric for the narrative task, since this is a vastly different type of writing. In this rubric for the research simulation and literary analysis tasks, you can see that the rubric is divided into 2 sections. The first is reading comprehension and written expression, and the second is knowledge of language and conventions. Along the top, we can see that students can earn a score of 0 through 4 in the reading and the writing section, and students can earn a 0 through 3 in the language usage section. Because students are producing writing on demand, a few mechanical, grammar, and usage errors are expected as long as the meaning is still clear. Now, let's take a side-by-side look at the high-level assessment blueprint and the PARCC grades 6 through 11 ELA Literacy Scoring rubric. Under the column for the raw number of points students can earn for the PCR or essay, on the literary analysis task, you can see that students can earn up to 4 points in reading, 12 points in writing, and 3 points in language. So this means, when you take a look at the scoring rubric, that the top portion, the reading and the writing section, will be multiplied by 4 for a total of up to 16 points, 12 of which will go towards writing and 4 of which can go towards reading. The language section, on the other hand, is only worth a total of 3 raw points. It's worth considering the implication that this has on our planning and instruction. Okay, so what happens to these raw scores? Remember, not all students respond to the same set of test items, so each student's raw score, the actual points earned on test items, is adjusted for the slight differences in difficulty among the various forms and administrations of the test. The resulting scale score allows for an accurate comparison across test forms and administration years within a grade or course and content area. Scale scores are reported in different categories: reading on a scale of 10 through 90, and writing on a scale of 10 through 60. Next, these reading and writing scale scores are combined into one overall ELA literacy scale score, which ranges from 650 through 850. This overall scale score determines students' performance levels. Each performance level is a broad level defined by a student's overall scale score and is used to report overall student performance by describing how well students met the expectations for their grade level or course. There are 5 performance levels for PARCC assessments. Students performing at levels 4 and 5 have met or exceeded expectations, have demonstrated readiness for the next grade level or course, and ultimately are likely on track for college and careers. You can see the appendix in the back of the PARCC Score Report Interpretation Guide for the cut scores and ranges for each performance level. PARCC has also released a set of performance level descriptors which describe what a typical student at each level should be able to demonstrate based on his or her command of grade level standards. We will dig more into scores and learn more about PARCC's performance level descriptors in a future webinar. For now, we hope you have a better understanding of how students earn points on PARCC and how those raw points are converted into reading, writing, and overall scale scores, which determine students' performance levels. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.